My name is Laura Hughes. I'm the Veterinary Nurse Development Manager here at Purina, and I'm here today to talk to you about the ProPlan cat range. So, first of all, I just want to update you on some of the changes that are coming through on the packaging for the ProPlan cat range. So, as you can see from the pictures below, we're changing the look and feel of the ProPlan cat packaging. All packs are now recyclable, and we're moving to new product names across the range just to try and simplify and make it clearer for the owners. So our Opti Start is moving to Healthy Start. Our Opti Digest is moving to Delicate Digestion. Our Opti Senses is moving to Vital Functions. Our Opti Renal is moving to Renal Plus. Our Opti Light is moving to Light, and our Longevist is staying as Longevist. What we've also done is tried to make it much clearer from an owner's perspective. So as well as having the new product names, we're also trying to make it much clearer whether it's things like a sterilised or an adult original product. We're also looking at calling out the main ingredient more clearly. So this is really about helping those owners to understand what the product is made from. So this is what the range will now look like. As you can see, we're transitioning the packs across the whole range now, and you can see the changes in the names as I've already mentioned. The nice thing about this transition diagram is it also shows you for each of our blends of nutrition that we're going to talk about through this presentation, you can see whether those products within the adult and senior life stages are available as a standard adult or a sterilised product or both. So the update to the wet packaging is coming through by August 2023, and we're just changing the name to make it simpler for people. So we have our kitten wet product. Within our adult, we have 2 sterilised varieties now and 1 delicate adult variety. And then we have our 1 sterilised adult product as well. Just to mention, we have got a new wet product that's coming, which is in a terrine consistency and is a cod-based flavour. So the question is, why do we choose ProPlan Cat? Well, ProPlan Cat has been proven to make a difference to a cat's long-term health. We have expertise in nutrition, and we actually have 500 vets and nutritionists whose sole job it is to research and innovate within the world of nutrition. So within ProPlan, you can expect high quality ingredients, and with that comes excellent nutrient quality and as a result, great digestibility. Essentially, everything that goes in gets used and every ingredient in the bag serves a purpose. We talk about fresh frozen meats are always the first ingredient, and we use a range of both plant and animal-based proteins to give us access to a wider range of amino acids that are required. We also don't just add protein for protein's sake so that it looks good on the pack. Each packet and each ingredient is there for a specific reason. We have both wet and dry offerings available, as I've said, and use a combination across the range of meat or fish-based sauces depending on owner or cat preference. Why recommend ProPlan? So first of all of our diets are fixed formula. When we look at pet foods, there are 2 types of pet foods, which are open or fixed formula products. ProPlan is a fixed formula product, and that means that it's got the same ingredients in the same quantities each and every time it's produced, where the other type of product is an open formula product, and that can be a product that changes its ingredients from one recipe to the next. You may see terms like meat and animal derivatives or cereal and cereal derivatives on products that are open formula product, but the ProPlan product is the same fixed formula every time, which means it's the same ingredients in the same quantity. So for animals that might be a little bit more sensitive, that can be really key. We also talk about the ProPlan range featuring multi-grain formula, including rice. A lot of people have a perception that grains are bad, but actually less than 1% of cats are sensitive to grains. We also, when we look at all of this together, that helps us when we think about the digestibility of the product. And when we talk about digestibility, what we mean is of what you put in, how much are they able to utilise and what's coming out in return. And that's when we talk about less poop to scoop. So people often think about softer stools being quite normal, particularly if it's what they see each and every day. But we say with ProPlan, you're aiming for kickable, not skiddable poos. Hopefully you will have seen our fecal scoring chart that you can see here on the right hand side. We're looking at the ideal poo being a nice number 2, so it's a nice little play on words. But interestingly, when you use this chart with owners, you often find when they say their animal has a normal poo, when you ask them to point which one it is, it's often not that number 2. We also talk about providing an optimal nutrition for each animal at the stage that they're at. So we know that we need to provide targeted nutrition at certain life stages, but we also know there are times when animals maybe have more sensitive digestion or sensitive skin, and we need to look at tweaking to something slightly different to support where they are in their life. So this is just a quick visual to show you the products that we have across the range. So as you can see, we have our kitten, which is your products that are up to a year. You have our adult, and within the adult range, we split that into both standard adult and sterilised products. And then we have our senior or adult 7+ products. We do also have the Live Clear range, which is about supporting humans that have allergies to cat hair, and then we have our wet range as well. So let's start off with the kitten diet, which is our healthy start. So when we look at our kitten blend, what we want to do is support them with their growth and development. One of the key areas is looking at having a source of DHA, which is an essential fatty acid that's important in relation to brain development. We also want to look at having a diet that is higher in protein and balanced in minerals to support their growth and development. Now, we also talk about this diet being suitable for neutered kittens because we know for some kittens they will be neutered before 6 months of age, and therefore they'll still be classed as growing up until 6 months of age. For those kittens, it's really important that they stay on a kitten food until they're at least 6 months, and then after 6 months you can look at transitioning them over onto a sterilised diet. The great thing about our kitten product is it has been proven to boost immune response by over 50% with the colostrum that is in the diet. So let me take you a little bit through this and tell you a little bit about the Healthy Start nutrient blend. So we did a study that included 24 kittens. They were all aged 12 weeks. They were split into 2 groups of 12, and both groups had the same diet, but one group had a supplementation of 0.1% bovine colostrum. So what we did was we looked at what impact the addition of this bovine colostrum would have on their immune response. So what we did for these kittens, we used the feline rabies vaccination at week 4, and then we gave them a booster vaccination at week 38. What we did was we took blood and fecal samples every 4 weeks to be able to look at the systemic and localised immune response to the addition of the colostrum within the diet. And actually what you can see from these charts here is there were some significant responses to that vaccination. So actually what you can see on the chart in the top right hand corner is the IgG levels. So that's the antibody levels within the blood. So that's showing your systemic immune response. And what you can see is that at week 40, so 2 weeks after that booster vaccination, there's a more significant response in the colostrum based group than there is within the control fed group. And we also then, if you look at the chart on the bottom of the right hand side, you can then see the improvement in the localized immune response. So this is the level of antibodies within the feces. So again, you're getting a better response from the colostrum group than you are the control fed group. We also looked at gut microflora stability and saw that following a stressful event, these cats had a much more stable microflora when they were on the colostrum based diet. Just to be really clear, the stressful event that these cats went through was we moved them into a different room. Okay, so now to go on to our adult 1+, which we call Renal Plus. So what we do know is that 30 to 50% of cats are affected by kidney disease, and this product has a blend of nutrients that have been proven to support a cat's kidney function. So we have antioxidants, specifically vitamin C, vitamin E and beta-carotene, which help neutralise free radicals that would otherwise cause damage to the kidney. We have omega-3 fatty acids, which are a fantastic natural anti-inflammatory. And we have arginine, which is a vasodilator, which helps with the flow of blood to the kidneys. One of the things that's really important is when we're looking at kidneys, one of the measures or markers that we look at is something called the isoprostanes, and that is markers of oxidative damage. And what we saw in the study associated with this diet was there was a reduction in these markers by 36% versus the control-fed group within 6 weeks of being fed the diet with this blend in it. So just to be really clear, the renal blend is in all of the adult dry products. Okay, so let's go into this in a bit more detail. So this product also contains chicory as a prebiotic to support intestinal health. So this is the adult renal plus diet. It's got that blend of nutrients that we've already talked about with the proven support for kidney function. But this adult diet also contains a calcium chelator, and that helps to bind the calcium from the diet and stop it adhering to the teeth to start the process of plaque and tartar buildup. And within the studies that we've done for the calcium chelator, it has proven to reduce tartar in cats by up to 40%, which is really significant when you think about how challenging it can be to brush a cat's teeth. So we then have our vital functions diet. So we know that cognitive dysfunction syndrome in cats is common. It is thought that 28% of cats between the age of 11 and 14 and 50% of cats over the age of 15 will show signs of cognitive dysfunction. So that might be things like lack of engagement with the owner, changes to their sleeping patterns, being more vocal, showing mental confusion, loss of toilet training, or being less active. And actually this diet has a blend of nutrients that's been proven to support cognitive function in those aging cats. So what does it have specifically in this blend? So we've got those omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA and EPA as natural anti-inflammatories. We've got antioxidants, specifically vitamin E and vitamin C to reduce the free radical damage. We've got B vitamins, which are really important in relation to supporting cognitive function. And again, we've got arginine as that vasodilator, helping the flow of blood to the brain. So we've also got the blend in here that supports the kidneys that we've already talked about in the Renal Plus product. And this product has a balanced urinary pH to help maintain the healthy urinary tract. We're also designed this product to support healthy weight after neutering, because we know that once a cat has been neutered, their metabolism actually changes within 48 hours of being neutered. So what we want to do is we want to support that as soon as possible after they've been neutered, and that's what we do within the sterilised diets. And what we work on is having a higher protein and lower fat content versus the standard adult product within the range. So we then have our delicate digestion. So when we look at the delicate digestion product, this is available in both the sterilised and the standard adult varieties. And as you would expect, it's designed for those cats that have a delicate digestion. So it's got selected protein sources, so there's less proteins that they'll potentially have a reaction to. It's turkey flavour, which we know is really good for those fussy cats. It's also got in there chicory, which is a prebiotic, so that's feeding the good bugs in the gut and helping with that digestive processes. It's also got a palatability coating on the kibble, so for those that maybe do have digestive issues or are very fussy, that palatability coating will really encourage them to eat. The other thing that it is worth noting is if you get owners that have maybe indoor cats and they're talking about significant litter box odour with the diet that their cat's currently on and looking to go to a diet that may produce less of a litter box odour, this is the diet we would normally recommend that you reach for. Because of the addition of that chicory root, it has been proven to reduce that litter box odour. So one thing to be aware of is our sterilised delicate digestion has had a slight change to its recipe to meet the delicate digestion profile. So it's still formulated with high quality selected protein sources and without any wheats. But we've got chicory as the prebiotic to feed the good bugs in the guts. It's got a balanced urinary tract health, and it's designed to support and maintain a healthy weight by having a higher protein and lower fat content versus the standard adult, but it's also got that blend of nutrients to support the kidneys as well. So We then have our adult light product. So the adult light product, the great thing about this diet is we've got two different feeding guides on this product. So we've got weight loss and weight maintenance. The big point for this diet is we feed this diet to the cat's current weight. This is really important because this is a point of difference versus many of the other products out on the market where they're basing it on an assumption of what we think the ideal adult weight would be for that cat. Sometimes it can be challenging to know what that would be. So this diet is based on feeding them to the current weight. That also helps from an owner perception point of view if they've got an animal where they're maybe struggling with the thought process of feeding less. So the fact that you can feed to following the cat's current weight is really beneficial. So what it allows you to do is feed to current weight. This is the diet you would reach for a cat up to a body condition score of 7. Anything 7 or above, you would want to go towards a therapeutic obesity diet. So when we look at what this diet is doing, the idea is that we're going to be supporting these cats to get down to an ideal body weight and body condition. And we're doing that through having a fat content that is 40% lower than the standard adult diet, coming in at 9% fat. And we want to have a higher protein diet to support fat metabolism while maintaining that lean muscle mass. We also want to make sure that we're going to support their skin and coat condition as well. And we do that through our high quality protein, vitamins, essential fatty acids and zinc. So we then have our Longevist blend. So this is our blend for our senior cats, or our adult 7+, as some owners like to refer to them. So this also has that same blend to support the kidneys and supporting that urinary tract health and a balanced urinary pH. And it's also been designed from the sterilised perspective to support them after neutering, with having a higher protein, lower fat content versus the adult variety. So what I want to do is just take you through a little bit about the blend that is the Longevist blend. So the Feline 7 Plus has a blend of nutrients including chicory, omega-6, omega-3 and specific antioxidants. Now, this blend has been backed by studies that have been published in peer-reviewed journals where the blend has been shown to extend the life of cats over the age of 7 by up to a year, as well as fighting the signs of ageing. So let's take you through the study in a little bit more detail. So the study was quite a substantial study. We had 90 healthy cats that were all aged between the age of 7 and 17. They were split into 3 equal groups, so 3 groups of 30, which were based on age, gender and body condition score. And then they were fed one diet for the remainder of their life. So you had group 1, which is what we call the control fed group, who were fed a nutritionally complete food. You had group 2 that had the same nutritionally complete food, but this time with the addition of antioxidants, specifically vitamin E and beta carotene. And then you had group 3, which is the same diet as group 1 and 2, with those additional antioxidants, so your vitamin E and beta carotene, but this time with the addition of chicory as a prebiotic, so that's feeding the good bugs within the guts, and your omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. And actually the results that we saw were really quite phenomenal. So the cats that were on this blend, so blend 3, which is what this diet is, was shown to have an average healthy lifespan of 1 year longer versus the cats that were in the control fed group. And actually we saw various improvements in their health parameters as well. The really nice thing about this is you can kind of split them into 2 halves. So the parameters and improvements that the owners would see and the parameters that you may see as a veterinary practice. So from an owner's point of view, you would see things like reduced thinning of the skin, a healthy gut balance, so therefore nicer stool quality, and maintaining things like healthy body weight and body protein stores. From a practice point of view, you will see things like increased red blood cell count and hematocrit levels, enhanced vitamin E absorption and higher circulating levels. And the really nice thing is that is going to be showing you what impact that's having in relation to antioxidant properties of vitamin E, but also supporting that broader immune function. The really lovely thing is the results that we can see happen within 3 months of going onto the diet. So it's really tangible for both you and the owner in relation to what difference and what improvement you will see. So now we go through the wet cat range. So the wet cat range is also fixed formula, just like the dry is. And what we do know is that many owners like to dual feed. So that means feeding a combination of both wet and dry products. And actually, we know a lot of owners do also have a mixture of textures that they may use for their cats. We know texture is a key impactor of palatability for cats, and actually the ISFM recommend feeding a mix of wet and dry from a very early age to prevent developing a strong preference to one particular texture, because should that cat need to go onto a different diet or to a wet diet later in life for whatever reason, it will really support maximising their acceptance of that diet. Wet cat foods are often slightly easier for some cats to eat, particularly if you've got cats that maybe have dental disease present, and they can help with things like weight, but be careful, because they've got 4 to 5 times less energy dense versus 1 tablespoon of dry food. So you need to take into consideration the moisture content of the food and how much less energy they'd be getting on wet versus dry, because you can't compare that on a weight comparison. It does help support hydration status. We know for cats they are what we call desert dwellers and poor drinkers. So actually it can be really helpful to support their hydration status. This is particularly important when you think of things like your senior cats, where they're often more at risk of things like dehydration, or those cats where you're wanting to support their urinary tract health and you know that they're not eating or drinking well. Having across the range, we've got different products that are available. So we've got our kitten product, we've got our sterilised chicken and our sterilised cod. So within that, we've got textures, we've got a sort of shredded consistency as well as a more uniform terrine texture. And then we have the sterilised 7+ product as well. Okay, so when we talk about the cat products, we've got a mix of both the wet and the dry, as I've mentioned, and it's available across all of the different life stages that we've talked about. We've got various different flavours across the range, so from your more meat-based sauces like chicken and turkey, or your fish-based sauces and cod and things like that. It's fixed formula, as we've already mentioned, and we have got that mixture of textures. When we talk about the 7+ product, it also can change the longevity blend, which is that blend I talked about that has been proven to increase the lifespan by up to a year of those senior cats. So please do let us know if you have any questions. Reach out to either myself or your veterinary nutrition partner, where we will be happy to help you with any questions you've got. Have a great day and thank you so much.